Sport is superstition, science, family, drama, love, theatre. It's everything. And that's why we've made a betting brand for sports fans. Download the Betr app today. That's better. What are you really gambling with?
And then there were four. It's conference finals time and the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Heat and the Celtics all remain. Hello and welcome to Fox Sports Lab NBA. I'm Jack Heron. Alongside me is our resident NBA guru, James Clements. James, we're at the pointy end of the season now.
Yeah, this is great, Jack. I'm stoked to be here as well. I'm like James Harden. I just want to be where I can be me. Simple as that.
Also joining us, our two-time NBA All-Star, Carlos Boozer. Carlos, these playoffs have been superb so far. Welcome.
Oh, so much fun to watch. I'm glad we're here to witness it. So many games coming down to the wire. What a great time of the year, guys.
Coming up, we analyse the Celtics' playoff brain fades, we talk the Nuggets and the Lakers, and we discuss whether the Heat can match it with Boston. Well, James, first and foremost, I think it's fair to say it's a good time to be a San Antonio fan.
I mean, anytime you can get a generational talent for the third time, Jack, the third time they have generational centres. How good is that for the Spurs? They win the draft lottery. They're going to be stoked. What a week.
Yeah, it's great for the Spurs. I think they need some good news. Let's talk about good news. Let's talk about great performances and recognise Jason Tatum. That Game 7 performance, a record-breaking night for him, was incredible.
It really was. 51 points. He goes and breaks the record that Steph set, 2 weeks ago against Sacramento in a Game 7. But for me, I think as we go into these conference finals now, that was the exact moment that Tatum just had to have. He'd been so sort of up and down during that series. He steps up when the chips are down. He delivered. It was amazing to see.
Carlos, players make their name and carve out their reputation in big games, don't they? This was a huge one for Jason.
Oh, a huge moment, for the Celtics, but also for Jason Tatum. He was struggling, like James said, through the playoffs, up and down, struggling in the first half. Game 7, everything on the line, season on the line. And he delivers a 51-point game. I think also with 13 rebounds, did everything he needed his team to do to win. Also played great defense. That team definitely got galvanized around him in that game. Looking forward to seeing how it translates to the next series.
So what about the Celtics then? That don't make it easy for their fans, no doubt about that. How do you explain their lapses in concentration and their up and down form that we've seen during the playoffs?
Yeah, it's kind of been that way for them. They had an incredible season towards most of it, but towards the tail end of the season, they were kind of inconsistent with their wins. They struggled a little bit in the first round, struggled a little bit in the second round. But you saw them when they needed their defense to show up, it showed up. You saw James Harden and Joel Embiid struggle in Game 7, ultimately, leading to Doc Rivers getting fired the other day or let go. But great job by the Celtics. They have it when they need it, and they're going to need it against the Miami Heat.
So, Carlos, we've actually just seen this, right? The Celtics are massive favourites against the Heat. We've seen Game 1 of Nuggets-Lakers. If the Celtics do get past Miami, who do you think they'd actually prefer to play in the finals?
I think Denver is a juggernaut offensively. The way Jokic is scoring, last night he was like a video game. 30-plus points, 20-plus rebounds, 13, 14-plus assists. That's just ridiculous, first of all. But their team is playing so well offensively. I think Boston would rather see the Lakers. I just think they match up a little better with them. They have the size inside with obviously Robert Williams III, Al Horford. They got the wings that can match up with LeBron, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum can switch and take turns on LeBron. They got guard play. Marcus Smart was Defensive Player of the Year just a year ago. They got Malcolm Brogdon off the bench, which I think is just a cheat code for their team. Makes their team so deep. So I think the Celtics would rather, if they get past the Miami Heat, they'd rather see the Lakers.
James, this postseason has been a reminder of how brutal the coaching side of the NBA is. No change at Boston. I guess they can thank Jason Tatum for that. But the Suns, the Bucks, and now the 76ers with Doc Rivers have made changes. What happens next for Philly?
Well, this is crazy, right? You've got the three best teams with the three best records over the past 3 years, right? That have all fired their coach. But I think for the Sixers, what does this mean? I think you've got to go back to the drawing board. And to be honest, there are very few exceptions where going back to your ex, I think, works. And that's what Daryl Morey's done. Yeah. He's gone to James Harden. They've talked about Mike D'Antoni. I say no! Don't do it, Philly! Stick away from the ex. Go find something new. Maybe talk to Nick Nurse. Just something like that. Maybe even move on from Harden and just give the keys to Tyrese Maxey and away we go.
Oh, just like that.
Just off we go.
Just like that. Hey, Carlos, while we're on the subject of the 76ers, what did you make of Joel Embiid's comments after the Celtics loss? He basically said, me and James, we can't win it alone.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's asking for help. I think, first of all, I didn't think they both played their best game in Game 7. I thought they both struggled in Game 7. But that being said, Joel was pretty outstanding throughout the most of the series. I feel like that's your star asking for help, whether that's in the form of a Dame Lillard or maybe a Zach LaVine out of Chicago. But he wants them to make a trade for an impact player that can also create their own shot, make the offense a little easier. Even though I really do love their team, I think Tobias Harris was like an unsung hero, very consistent throughout the playoffs. Tyrese Maxey really showed up and showed out all playoffs long. And I'm not quite sure, James, that James Harden wants to stay in Philly. I keep hearing rumors about him wanting to go play in Phoenix with KD, hearing rumors about him wanting to go back to Houston. So watch out for him to opt out of his contract and possibly be on the move this summer.
Oh, my goodness me. There is a lot to unpack. Some big names and some big games as well.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.